What is up there? Welcome to a brand new video on 414 V2. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a basic edit in Adobe Lightroom so you can improve your figure photography. I say improve your figure photography. Do you have to use Lightroom? No, I use it pretty much almost every day and I'm a massive fan of it and it really does upgrade my photos. So I thought, let's share that with you today. There's plenty of options out there available. Can you do this in Photoshop? Yes, but I prefer to do it in Lightroom. For me, Lightroom focuses solely on the photo in terms of its color and its overall look, whereas Photoshop would be more for manipulation where I add things like overlays, which I did a video for. Link is in the card. I don't know which side it is. I actually have an Adobe subscription. I think it's the photo one for about £10 a month where you get Photoshop and Lightroom included. Like I say, I use it almost every day, so it's worth it for me. Of course, there are free versions available and you can trial them as well. So follow along with the tutorial or, just see what works for you. Of course, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this with a fellow fan of anime figure photography. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when videos go live on the channel. I've just started live streaming here on V2. This is now the home of all of my 414 streams. So if you could share these videos out, we're trying to get that monetization so we can get our Kurumi emotes in the streams, and why not come out and hang out in one? I'm trying to do 3 a week. I'm aiming for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. There is a playlist as well on the homepage where you can see past streams to see if it's something you want to join in with. I'm thinking of maybe doing some live photo edits. I used to do that a bit on Twitch. So if it's something you'd like to do where you can come in and ask me about figure photography and things like that, let me know in the comments. I'd highly appreciate it. Anyway, I've rambled. So with that being said, let's roll intro and get straight into Lightroom. Right, welcome back. We're going to jump straight into Lightroom. I'm going to do basically a quick basic edit in here so you guys get an idea of what I do when it comes to a photo edit and hopefully improve your photos as well. So let's jump straight into this. Here we are in the library. So this is where you'll find all your images that you've imported. As you can see, I've got this beautiful picture of Raftalia right here. I took this actually in my kitchen this morning. The light was just right, so I quickly snapped that. The figure itself is nice, am I right? Quick tip as well, if you can make sure that you shoot in RAW over JPEG. With RAW, you can manipulate the colors in the photograph a lot more. With JPEG, you'll lose a lot of detail. So yeah, quick tip, if you can shoot in RAW, shoot in RAW. They're bigger files, but it's much more worth it. Anyway, back into Lightroom. So here we are in the library. We've got the picture that we want. I've imported it. We're going to go over to the develop tab. So this is basically the editor. This is where we're going to be doing the meat of the work here. You'll have all your basic bits and bobs on the side over here. These are all the adjustments that we can make. Over on the left side, you've got your kind of preview window, so to speak. We've got presets. All this kind of thing. I am thinking of making some presets at some point, but we'll see how that goes. It's something I want to do, but we'll concentrate on growing the channel first, bro. So you know how it is. Anyway, back here. So in the develop tab, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the white balance. As you can see, it's very tungsten, very horrible color, kind of greeny. What I tend to do is this little dropper tool right here. I'll click that, find the lightest part of the image, click that, and boom. Oh my God. How much better does that look? Like already, that looks so much better. Right then, so exposure. Obviously, you can bump your exposure. You can lower your exposure. Lighter, darker kind of thing. With all these edits, it really is personal preference. So let's bring that down to about 5. Say for example, you make like a drastic edit and later on you find that you're not happy with it. Just double click on the tab. It resets it back to 0. Nice. So yeah, let's bring that up to about 5. Contrast, obviously you can make it very contrasty or you can take the contrast out a bit. I quite like the contrast out on this. Go for about minus 20. Like I said, it's all personal preference this, so play around with it to your heart's content. You can lift your highlights, you can lower them a little bit. So I think I'll lift the highlights ever so slightly and I'll drop the shadows a bit, make them a bit more punchier. You can also click in the box and use your up and down tools to get the preciseness. I'm gonna bring the whites down a little bit and lift the blacks maybe to about 5, I think. That looks good. Presence here, you don't really need to do an awful lot to it. Clarity it tends to be the only one that I really play with. So you bring the clarity up, it makes the picture a lot sharper, but obviously the more you do this, the more obvious it is that this guy's been editing some photos. So with all these adjustments, my advice to you would be just subtle, just nice and subtle. That's all you want. So we're going to bring the clarity up, but say by about 15 or so. Just sharpen it out just a little bit, just to bring out those nice little details, but not so much that it's like an overly edited kind of picture. Right then. With that done, next done, we're going to go on over to the tone curve. I've closed all these groups up, so these little arrows here, you just click it, and here we are. So what I might do with this one is put a bit of a vintage look on it. So to do that, you're going to lift those blacks up a little bit. Going to drop the shadows ever so slightly. And then the middle, just going to level out. Like so, and that's me pretty much done here. You can mess with the colors over here, but I'd say to begin with, just stick with the first one. Stick with your blacks and your blacks and whites. This tab here, HSL, this is where the magic happens, my friends. This is where the magic happens. So HSL, this is basically where you can manipulate each color individually, and this is where you'll probably spend the majority of your time tweaking things. So obviously you've got the hue. What I want to do with this one is probably see what we can do with her hair. It's quite a bit darker. So let's try that. There we go. So obviously you can lift that. I want to make it a bit darker. That looks good. Make the towel a little bit more defined. We want to play with the color of her eyes as well, but that's something that I'll go into a bit later. There's a little handy trick for that. Saturation, here we go. So let's boost that a little bit. I want to make sure her hair's nice and vibrant. Not too vibrant, like I said. Subtle changes, people. Subtle changes. Looking good. Luminance. This basically is to do with the brightness. Bring that up a little bit. Bring that orange up a bit more. The yellows. See, there's not really any green or aquas, blues, anything like that in the image, so we don't really need to toy with that an awful lot. Fantastic. Right, so where we've got HSL over here, you can go to color as well. Click that, and this is where you can actually manipulate it a little bit more, like the colors individually. So let's go with the orange per se. We've made all these adjustments already, but you can just tweak the colors individually on their own. I think that looks really good so far. Right then, when I was mentioning the eyes earlier, this is the little tip for it. So this I do in every single figure like shot, like every edit. Like one of my most favorite things about anime in general is the eyes, and that is no different with figures. So I want to make sure that these look amazing. What we're going to do is we're going to click this little brush over here. We're going to zoom in a little bit into her eye. Click on the eye, and by doing that, we've got this new tab just in the side. So all the adjustments we make are just going to be in the little mask that we've put over our eye. So I tend to boost the exposure a little bit and the contrast just to make it pop a little bit more. Then I'll mess with these tabs, see what difference it makes. Like I said, subtle movements, and it's all personal preference, so just play around with this. Like I said, clarity, probably going to boost the sharpness of our eye a little bit more. There we go. Click that off, and it's basically just it's just made a little improvement to that eye. Right, last thing we're going to do, and I do this in all of my photos, again, not too much because it is a bit dramatic, but I like it, man. I'm going to put a vignette on this. So to do that, we're going to go down to effects. We've got the vignette here. So what I'm going to do, bring down, obviously if you do that, obvious, right? So just want a subtle vignette on there. probably about 20, and you can mess around with the midpoint. Probably want the midpoint about halfway. Like I said, just double take that, and you're there. Feather, because it's so subtle, you can't really see it, so it's not a problem. But there we go. That is exactly what I would do for a figure edit there. A tip here, what you can do is if you press Y on your keyboard, you'll get a before and after. So you can see what we've got here. And the benefit of doing this is there's little things about the before that I like actually more than what I've done. So I can go back, like I like the brightness. So I think what I might do, I might just warm that up a little bit more. Probably bump the exposure just up a little bit more. Those highlights. Bring the shadows up a little bit. Go back. Bring up the saturation in these colors. Bring that hue down a bit, get that hair color nice. Right then, so after a bit more tweaking with those colors, I've basically got this as my overall image here. You can see the before and the after. It's such slight edits there, but you can tell the difference, and it really does just make everything pop a bit more. Like I said, it's all creative freedom here. You edit these pictures as to your likings, my friends. Okay, so when you're done with that and you want to export it, let's go File. Gonna go to Export. Just gonna bring up your settings here. Custom name. What you want to make sure is that quality down here all the way at 100%, so you're not losing anything. And then when you post these to like Instagram or My Figure Collection, whatnot, you'll have the greatest of quality. That's what you want to do. Just gonna export this to desktop. Hit that. Bish bash bosh, and that pretty much, people, is a basic edit within Lightroom. There we go, that was my Adobe Lightroom tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the basic edit there. I think that looks really awesome. We basically took this image of Talia from looking like this to this. I think you can agree it is a very vast improvement there. So I'm super happy with that, and I hope you guys got some value out of that video. Of course, like I said at the start of the video, I am doing the live streams here now on 414v2, so make sure you come hang out. And if you'd like to see some live editing streams, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it. I really enjoyed doing them over on Twitch, and it was just a fun time to be had. It's just it crashed my PC, so I'd need to sort that out in advance. So let me know. As always, don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Come hang out with me on the live streams. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new tutorials go live on the channel. Like I said, we're trying to hit the monetization goal on here. I need those 4,000 hours of watch time. So if you guys could, share these videos out or spend some time on the channel, I would highly appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Anyway, till next time, my fellow weebs. Peace.